Here we go. The final round of the 2024 South African Rally Raid Championship, sponsored by KEC Renault and based at the Legend Adventure Park near Bronkhorstspruit. With the race within striking distance of both Joburg and Pretoria, it was always going to be well attended. And while the weather was cool, the action was hot, hot, hot. All the thrills and spills are brought to you by Toyota, Ford and Pirelli. The 2024 SA Rally Raid Championship came to an exhilarating close with the Renault KEC 400, held at Legends Adventure Farm just outside Pretoria. This final event in the championship calendar saw competitors and fans flock to the venue in great numbers, eager to witness the season's decisive race. With Gauteng's central location, it offered easy accessibility for fans across the region, resulting in an impressive turnout and an electric atmosphere. Cloudy skies and mild conditions provided an ideal backdrop for the high-speed, high-stakes action. The Legends Adventure Farm and surrounding area offered a challenging route that included a variety of terrains, vast open tracks, rugged rocky sections, and twisty mountain paths that put both drivers and navigators to the test. With unpredictable obstacles and tricky navigation, this wasn't going to be an easy race. The unique layout required technical precision and raw speed, setting the stage for a thrilling finale. The championship battle had already crowned Henk Laarkhan and Brett Cummings as the 2024 champions in both the overall and Ultimate T1 Plus categories, thanks to their dominant performances throughout the season. Despite already securing the title, Laarkhan and Cummings were still determined to finish on a high, aiming for a fifth victory to cap off their successful season. But the overall title wasn't the only prize up for grabs. Various teams were still contending for high finishes within their respective categories, with hashtag Team Hilux Rally Raids Forshia and Batters Blikno fighting for points to solidify their place as the top privateer team of the season. TGRSA's Guy Bottrell and Dennis Murphy and Janelle de Villiers and Alvin Vonk were also in the fray, though both teams were officially testing for the Dakar Rally rather than competing for points in the SA Rally Raid standings. Among other competitors, Lance Woolridge and Kenny Gilbert in their Neil Woolridge Motorsport Ford Ranger T1 Plus were seeking redemption after a season of highs and lows. Meanwhile, the hashtag Team Hilux Rally Raid duo of Johan and Van Horn faced high expectations as they looked to close out the season with a strong finish. But before we get to the details of the race, we caught up with a few of the key players in the DSP at the KEC Renault 400. And as the man behind the sponsorship for the event, there can be no doubt that Johan van Staden was one of the key players.
Transpired to be a perfect event close by home. We say thank you so much to Renault South Africa. We are so proud to be able to represent Renault in this way. Hopefully we make it a consistent thing for next year.
We also chatted with the three TGRSA drivers who had sealed first, second and third place in the overall championship. A remarkable achievement by the trio. Here's Henk Laarkhan, Guy Bottrell and Janelle de Villiers, each sharing their thoughts before the final race of the season.
No, it's nice. It's actually very nice to have the championship sealed before the last round. It's always that bit of stress in the back of your mind.
We're really happy to be second. It's a really tough field, lots of competitors, and it's a really tough class. So happy to be second.
Looking to obviously test a little bit before the Dakar. It's very close to the Dakar, and we're going to try some new stuff.
The Toyota dominance of 2024 left the outgoing champion Gareth Woolridge to rue what could have been, if only things had gone as they did in 2023.
Hasn't been great. In saying that, it's been a better second half. First year we started out really rocky. Some unforeseens on technical stuff, which we've now rectified.
Forshia Blikno and brother Batters were the first of the privateers on the standings. The big man had been going like the proverbial Boeing of late and thoroughly deserved his spot in the standings.
Yeah, look, it's final round of the season. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a slip and slide. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen.
As far as undecided championships went, one that was still outstanding was the Adventurer class, where the father and son pairing of Gerard and Rudy Heinlein had one hand on the trophy going into the final race.
For my dad's points is a bit behind, so if we can get a good podium finish, his points will also maybe, if we're lucky, go up a bit.
Their nearest competitor was Johan de Bruin, but the businessman knew that his DNF at the previous round had cost him dearly.
because of our DNF at the last race, we're just out of reach.
At the same time, one of the other early title contenders, Eben Basson, had elected to make a big change for the last round of the season since he was out of touch of the trophy after a tough mid-season battle.
And so far the handling is good, but I think we want to get into it and maybe next year we can compete in this class.
Another change in the DSP saw young Jaden Els move into the Red Line Revo for this event, testament to the youngsters' undeniable talent.
The team did a great effort to get the car set up for me, so big thanks to them.
With Jaden in the ex-Chris Visser car, this left Jaden's own machine available for the race. This was exactly the opportunity that rally ace JJ Potgieter was looking for, and the affable racer grabbed the chance with both hands. He'd have rally navigator Carolyn Swan beside him in the car.
And I said, yeah, if I'm committed, I will be there. And they sorted out to finish the car in time, so yeah.
Finally, the Renault KEC 400 also saw a few Rally Raid legends among the spectators, including none other than multiple former champion Hannes Krobler. Krobler would be waving the flag to set up the cars for the Castrol qualifier, but he shared a few words with us prior to the event.
It's unbelievable, it's so nice. The guys invited us here, we're privileged and we thank them for inviting us as VIPs and whatever. And yeah, I think the weather is good. It rained a bit, so there's not going to be a lot of dust. So I think the whole thing will be spectacular today. I think people will enjoy it.
And with that, it was time to get going. The race weekend began with the 19.73 kilometer Castrol qualifying race on Friday morning, setting the tone for the fierce competition to come. In true Rally Raid style, the results from this qualifying determined the starting order for the following 76 kilometer stage 1. And the drivers didn't hold back. Let's count back the top 10, starting with 10th place. Somewhat surprisingly, the newly minted champions Henk Ladekan and Brett Cummings posted only the 10th fastest time. The Toyota Gazoo Racing Hilux IMT Evo duo completed the qualifying race in 16 minutes and 10 seconds, placing them 42 seconds behind the leaders, the Blickner brothers. As reigning champions, they opted to strategically start their day from the back of the top 10, perhaps aiming to avoid early traffic. 9th place went to Gary Berthold and Donnie Stassen in their Toyota Decar Hilux T1 Plus. Finishing with a time of 16 minutes and 8 seconds, they were 40 seconds off the fastest pace. Their solid performance in qualifying placed them comfortably in the top 10, allowing them a strategic start for stage 1. Defending champions Gareth Woolridge and Boyd Dreyer, or are they former champions already, were up next in their Ford NWM Ranger. Clocking a time of 15 minutes and 57 seconds, they finished 29 seconds behind the leaders. The outgoing champions were looking to redeem their season with a strong showing in this final event, starting their campaign solidly in 8th place. Eben Basson was keen to make a good impression with his new wheels, and the hashtag Team Hilux driver, together with navigator Leander Pienaar, completed the qualifying race in 15 minutes and 56 seconds, just 28 seconds behind the leaders. This former Adventurer T1 class team showed a promising pace for their debut in the Ultimate class. In 6th, Lance Woolridge and Kenny Gilbert in the second Ford Ranger T1 Plus came through at 15 minutes and 54 seconds, 26 seconds behind the top time. Woolridge and Gilbert's quick start hinted at their intentions for a podium push as they settled into the event. The Horn brothers, Johan and Vanna, placed 5th, finishing just 13 seconds off the lead at 15 minutes and 41 seconds. Their smooth, composed run underscored their familiarity with the vehicle and their commitment to staying close to the front. In 4th, Dutch-South African duo Rins Hofstra and Wade Harris in the red-lined Revo T1 Plus GTR completed the qualifying race in 15 minutes and 39 seconds, only 11 seconds behind the leaders. Hofstra and Harris demonstrated their competitive edge, pushing for a top position and signaling that they would not hold back over the weekend stages. Janelle de Villiers and Alvin Fonk, experienced contenders for Toyota Gazoo Racing, took 3rd with a time of 15 minutes and 34 seconds, a mere 6 seconds behind the lead. Their strong drive placed them within striking distance, a promising setup for their stage 1 efforts. 2nd place went to the formidable duo of Guy Bottrell and Dennis Murphy, who also drove for Toyota Gazoo Racing. Their time of 15 minutes and 29 seconds put them only 1 second behind the leaders. Bottrell and Murphy's laser-focused drive in the short qualifier set them up well to contend for victory over the remaining stages. Leading the pack, the Blickner brothers, Fushian Batis of #Team Hilux Rally Raid, clinched the fastest qualifying time at 15 minutes and 28 seconds. With just a single second's advantage over Bottrell and Murphy, the Blickners set a blistering pace that signalled their determination to dominate the final round. The Castrol qualifying race demonstrated how tight the competition would be, as fractions of seconds separated these elite teams. With minimal gaps between the top crews, the stage was set for intense battles on stage 1, with every team aiming to make the most of their hard-fought starting positions. Let's check those numbers again. The Blickners topped the standings with an amazing result, just 1 second ahead of Bottrell and Murphy. Hofstra and Harris also had a good run, going 4th fastest. The Horns rounded out the top 5. The top 10 teams then drew for their starting positions for stage 1. The draw led to a strategic shuffle. Lartgun and Cummings, having posted the 10th fastest time, had to open the road. They were followed by Berthold and Stassen and Woolridge and Dreyer. The Blickners elected to go out in 7th place. The Renault KEC 400 continued with stage 1 on Friday afternoon, where competitors faced a rugged 76-kilometre course featuring rocky terrain, tight turns and fast stretches. Under looming storm clouds and with a thunderstorm threatening in the distance, drivers had to contend with not only the dusty, challenging track, but also specks of rain beginning to fall. The suspense of an impending downpour added tension to the already intense race atmosphere, as teams worked hard to make the most of the break in the weather. With visibility strained and nerves high, the crews navigated unpredictable conditions, creating a thrilling race that held fans in suspense until the last moment. In 10th place, the Farmers Meat team of Loet de Pre and Joandre Creer in their CR6 faced technical challenges, but maintained their steady pace, clocking a final time of 1 hour 28.33. Their resilience kept them in the game despite the tough terrain. Philip Wood and Andries Maynard of Redline Motorsport racing in a VK56 clinched 9th place with a time of 1 hour 28 minutes and 31 seconds. The duo tackled the rocky course strategically, taking calculated risks that paid off as they secured a spot in the top 10. The 8th position went to the father and son Heinlein team, Gerard and Rudy, piloting another Redline VK56. Clocking in at 1 hour 28 minutes and 4 seconds, they successfully navigated the challenging route and kept their pace in line with the day's frontrunners, setting up a promising position heading into the final stages. Rally Raid newcomer JJ Portkidder, with experienced navigator Carolyn Swan in the SVR, held their own against the seasoned competition, finishing 7th at 1 hour 25 minutes and 29 seconds. This impressive debut run demonstrated Portkidder's quick adaptation to rally raid conditions, a sign of potential for future events. In 6th place, Rens Hofstra and Wade Harris in the Redline Revo T1 Plus GTR completed the stage in 1 hour 24 minutes and 57 seconds. Despite navigating thick dust and loose sand, they managed a strong finish, showcasing their tenacity on the tricky route. Toyota's Gary Berthold and Donnie Stassen took a more conservative approach, aiming for consistency rather than aggressive speed. They brought their privately entered Toyota Hilux T1 Plus across the finish line in 5th place, with a time of 1 hour 24 minutes and 19 seconds, effectively positioning themselves within striking distance of the leaders.
Really fantastic, tough route. Not the traditional fast rally raid route, so I suppose for an old-timer that's been around the block a few times, more suited to this.
The 4th place was captured by Eben Basson and Leander Pienaar in their #Team Hilux Rally Raid Toyota Hilux, clocking in at 1 hour 23 minutes and 5 seconds. The team battled the challenging terrain with determination, proving that their move to the top T1 Plus class was a step in the right direction.
No, it was tough and tight, especially with this car for the first time out there. It was quite tough and, tight.
Neil Woolridge, Motorsport's Lance Woolridge and Kenny Gilbert in their Ford NWM Ranger T1 Plus finished the day in 3rd. Their time of 1 hour 22 minutes and 59 seconds reflected a strong and focused drive, despite a minor mishap with their vehicle's bonnet flying open on a heavy landing. Gilbert's quick repairs in the field kept them competitive.
Could have been a lot better for us. Frustratingly, about 5 k's in, we had a jump, and when we landed, something dislodged on the bonnet and it came unclipped. So we had to stop it for Kenny to get out and strap it all down, so we lost our time there.
The second position went to the Toyota Gazoo racing team of Henk Larkin and Brett Cummings, who completed the course in 1 hour 22 minutes and 53 seconds. Facing the difficulty of opening the route and a broken side shaft, they maintained their focus, demonstrating the skill that made them champions this season.
About 30 k's into the stage we broke a drive shaft, which basically means you have two-wheel drive or three-wheel drive, but they're not really working as they should.
Topping the standings in first place were the Blicknow brothers for Sheehan Battis, with an overall time of 1 hour 20 minutes and 58 seconds. Leading the pack after the Castrol qualifying race, they managed to hold their position despite minor navigational errors, proving their capability in the fast and dusty conditions that characterized Stage 1, and showing that the Burley driver has the skill to challenge even the top factory teams.
No, it's been good for us, yeah, so far. And I mean, we had a good run. I'm happy. My brother did a great job. We had some navigation issues, but I mean, overall, it went well.
A typical high-fault thunderstorm was making its way towards the DSP by the time the first stage was done. But it was nothing compared to the storm on the leaderboard, which saw the Blicknow brothers leading the charge by quite some margin. Larkin and Cummings went second despite their setbacks, while Woolridge and Gilbert rounded out the podium. Besson and Pinard made a great start with their new wheels, while Berthold and Stassen completed the top 5. One name that was clearly missing from the leaderboard was that of the Horn brothers. The hashtag Team Hilux pair made a mistake mid-stage, ending up in a large ditch. One of the wheels was severed from their car, and it was time for the Affable brothers to call it a day. The final day of the Renault KEC 400 held at the Scenic Legends Adventure Farm near Pretoria marked the thrilling close of the 2024 SA Rally Raid Championship. With ominous storm clouds looming on the horizon and spectators gathered to witness the high-stakes action, the last stages of the race delivered nail-biting moments, fierce rivalries and standout performances. The final 2 stages were packed with fast sections, challenging rocky paths, and technical terrain that tested the mettle of every competitor. At the end of nearly 450 kilometers of intense racing, new champions were crowned and final positions were secured in a field brimming with talent. Here's a look at how the top 10 competitors fared on the final day, starting from 10th place. Gerard and Rudy Heinlein managed to secure 10th place overall after a consistent performance over both stages. Their Redline VK56, known for its durability, carried them through the demanding conditions of the final day. While they didn't top the leaderboard, their steady pace and strategic approach were enough to clinch a spot in the top 10, a testament to the resilience throughout the season. This also sealed the Adventure Class title for the pair, a stunning performance that probably surprised a few of their competitors. Ludik and Williamson, another Redline Motorsport team, edged ahead of the Heinleins to take 9th place. As newcomers to the SARC, their impressive debut season was capped with a solid finish in this challenging event. The duo's Redline VK56 performed admirably, allowing them to hold their position against seasoned competitors. Their measured approach ensured a steady pace, demonstrating their adaptability to the rugged karting terrain. Philip Wood and Andries Maynard secured an impressive 8th place overall with a near-flawless performance on the final day. The duo, who had battled mechanical setbacks early in the season, enjoyed a smooth run at the Renault KEC 400, leveraging their experience to tackle the technical route efficiently. Their consistent progress on the final day solidified their position, finishing a full minute ahead of Ludik and Williamson. In 7th place, the Farmers Meat CR6 team of Louis Dupré and Joandre Creer delivered a powerful performance in their 2-wheel drive vehicle. Despite some tricky sections that favoured 4-wheel drives, Dupré and Creer's skill in navigating these obstacles kept them in contention. Their CR6's speed in open sections allowed them to capitalise on the fast tracks, helping them maintain a strong finish among the leading teams. South African rally champion JJ Potgieter teamed up with seasoned navigator Carolyn Swan, marked his rally raid debut with an impressive 6th place finish. Their SVR vehicle tackled the technical challenges of the terrain with finesse, showing a natural transition for Potgieter into the rally raid scene. This remarkable performance highlights their potential for future events, as they kept pace with some of the top contenders throughout the stages. Fifth place went to the experienced team of Gary Berthold and Donnie Stassen, who took a cautious approach to ensure a solid finish. In their Toyota Hilux T1 Plus, Berthold and Stassen focused on consistency and vehicle preservation, which paid off with a strong placement in the top 5. Their reliable strategy kept them in the running despite some intense competition and the unpredictable terrain, solidifying their reputation as resilient competitors in the field.
What a race, absolutely fantastic, really happy with the result, third privateer.
Busson and Pinar, the reigning Adventurer T1 champions, successfully transitioned to the Ultimate T1 Plus class for this event and finished an impressive 4th overall. Their Toyota Hilux handled the rocky sections with ease, allowing the team to climb steadily through the field. Although a podium spot eluded them, their 4th place finish confirmed their capability to compete at the highest level. This result bodes well for their potential in the Ultimate T1 Plus category in future seasons.
The way this car handles, the way it turns, the way it takes the rough, the way it brakes, short brake, it's just amazing.
The Neil Woolridge Motorsport team of Lance Woolridge and Kenny Gilbert clinched 3rd place after a commendable performance over the weekend. Their Ford Ranger T1 Plus handled the varied terrain with aplomb, though they faced challenges on the final day with technical sections. Despite this, Woolridge and Gilbert kept up a competitive pace and managed to hold off several strong contenders to finish on the podium.
Bits of the track that suited each of our different cars, I think. So yeah, very interesting and nice results in the end.
The Blickner brothers were the leaders after stage 1 and opened the route on the final day. However, the experience of navigating a fresh course presented some obstacles, including closed gates, which cost them valuable time. The team kept their focus and pushed through these setbacks, finishing just 27 seconds behind the winners. Their 2nd place result was a commendable finish after their strong showing on the first day, underscoring their skill and sheer speed.
Yeah, no, it was a good result for us. I mean, it's like I've said before, there's some Kazoo buggies that was not participating, but I mean, at the end of the day, we were here and it was a great result for us.
Champions Henk Laargan and Brett Cummings took the top spot with a total time of 6 hours, 10 minutes and 13 seconds, sealing their 5th victory of the season and clinching the Ultimate T1 Plus Championship title. Despite starting the final day from 2nd place, the pair quickly closed the gap to the Blickners, setting a blistering pace that ultimately secured their win. Their Toyota Hilux IMT Evo demonstrated its prowess across the rugged and technical route, allowing Laargan and Cummings to end the season on a high note. Janelle de Villiers and Alvin Fong, competing in a non-scoring capacity for Dakar preparation, posted the fastest time of the weekend. Their presence on the course was both a test for Dakar components and a showcase of their pace, as they outperformed even the championship winners. Although they were ineligible for official positions, de Villiers' performance highlighted the Toyota Hilux's capability and hinted at the team's strength for the Dakar Rally.
A good race, a good test for us, so yeah, looking forward to the Dakar now.
What a race it was! The Blickner brothers mixed it up with the works teams to take 2nd overall, while Woolridge and Gilbert flew the flag for Ford with pride. Busson and Pinar brought their new big-wheeled Hilux home in 4th, while Berthold and Stassen rounded out the top 5 after another solid weekend. And a special mention for JJ Potgieter, who finished in 6th place overall in his debut Rally Raid event. An absolutely stonking performance. Despite having already won the title, Henk Laargan and Brett Cummings still pushed right to the end of the season, proving exactly why they are the best in the business. They had to dig deep to stay ahead of the Flying Blickners though, and the TGRSA driver was extremely happy to have added another win to his tally.
Brett was perfect on the road book. The car was faultless, so we could really push and make up the time. We managed to catch them and gain a bit of a lead, so really happy with the weekend overall.
And with that, we draw a curtain over the 2024 SARC season. And what a season it has been. From the opening round in Malalan to the rolling hills of Vryheid. From there to the spectacular Safari 1000 in Thabazimbi, before heading to Parys for the double header at Stonehenge. Perkies and Volcom was up next before the season finale here near Bronkies. Old champions were greeted while new ones were crowned, and the SARC proved once again why it is arguably the premier motorsport formula in the country. We'd like to wish all the South African Dakar competitors the best of luck for January, and we'll see everyone else back here when 2025 rolls around. All the action from the final round of the 2024 SARC in Bronkhorstspruit was brought to you by Toyota, hashtag Team Hilux Rally Raid, Ford, Castrol and ICANN, in association with the SARRC.